I thought we couldn't.
I mean, I could just stay here.
Perfect.
Just shout obscenities into the microphone when you're gone.
Shout obscenities. Okay. You doing the intro or am I?
I think you should.
All right. Hello, and welcome to the PGL Lobbycast, the official podcast of PreGameLobby.com. This is episode 273, and what is today's date? The 16th?
It certainly is.
It certainly is. I should get my phone, and then I'll continue my my intro. Here, entertain the folks while I'm getting my phone.
It is 16th. Wow, that went south fast.
So fast.
This is why you don't leave me alone. You've learned now. I mean, that was all of 2 seconds, and I couldn't form words together.
Something you folks may not know about Brick is he's not internationally known, but he's known to rock the microphone very poorly, which is why he's not internationally known. Yeah, so
It takes
there's
two to make a thing go right.
takes two to make
Get out of sight?
it out of sight, yeah. Man.
Okay, continue.
All right, so I don't know. Where should we start? This show is absolutely not brought to you by Shiner Brewery, makers of fine Ruby Redbird, or Coda Brewing Company, makers of this fine Champango, which is a mango kolsch.
It's a little bit brought to you by Coda Brewing.
It is a little bit brought to you by Coda.
It's a little bit.
Little bit. And then there is also an IPA here. It is unnamed, or it was as of yesterday. Today it goes live. And this is Coda Brewing Company in Aurora, Colorado. They don't sell outside of the state yet. They're a tap room. They've only been open a couple weeks. And they make just an outstanding product. The IPA here, they do things with a musical theme. You know, Coda, like a segment of music, is where they get and we were trying to come up names yesterday. I was looking through different bands and different song titles, and I was trying to find something that was unique. And I don't know if they're going to stick to it, but I wanted to call it Fortune Faded IPA, after the Red Hot Chili Peppers song.
Yeah.
Hey, are you on? Okay,
I believe
you did
it.
adjust the mics.
I
Okay,
did.
good.
Yep.
Okay. Last week Jordan was on mic 4 and it was turned off, so for a little bit, so hopefully they went with that. There was a lot of different names, but a lot of beers are named after song titles from like Foo Fighters and the Black Keys and Chili Peppers and stuff like that. So,
Well, yeah.
but Fortune Faded was completely unique.
That's good.
So hopefully they went with it, because I think that would be a cool name for their IPA.
Well, why wouldn't they?
We couldn't very well call it Give It Away IPA, because then people will say, "Oh, why do I have to pay for it?" You know, and you just don't want to listen to that ever, ever.
Yeah, much.
Because that's the kind of thing that you got these new customers, and you want to make them feel welcome. And if you have to punch them in the mouth,
that does make them feel
it does not make them feel welcome.
It's like every time when I scan something in at my store, and it doesn't exactly come up the first time.
Right.
Like, well, it's free then, right? No.
Do they give you the finger guns?
One guy almost gave me the finger guns, and then I looked at him while he was raising his hands.
He was cocking the finger guns.
He was cocking the finger gun.
Pulled it out of his holster.
And I was just not having it that day.
And he put it back into his holster.
Like normally I can deal with it. Normally I'm just like, ha ha ha, you know.
Yeah. What had happened as he was pulling the finger guns out of the holsters is the smile was fading from your face.
I gave him, because I was really hungover, and I gave him the biggest look of disdain I have ever given anyone in my life. And he just, so how much is it?
Kind of like the slow motion frown that Michael Bolton on Office Space does.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, pretty much.
Kind of like that. So if you folks are in the Denver area, I know we have, I don't know, like 2.5 listeners here in the Denver area, maybe 3. Yeah, check out Coda Brewing Company. I've been doing some completely volunteer, 100% free work over there, hanging out, doing some beer tending. It's been kind of cool.
Right on.
Hanging out.
Yep.
They've only been open a couple weeks, and they've got regulars.
And it's just pouring beers, right?
It's just pouring beers. Yeah, they don't do food there. It's a tap room, but you can call Cedar Creek Pub, which a lot of you have heard us mention before, and which
right
is across the street, and they'll deliver food over to Coda.
Okay. I mean, I could pour beers, you know. I can do that.
Fair enough.
If you're
enough.
gonna go down there and work, I'm gonna try and get behind the bar, and then Scott's gonna kick me out.
Probably. Probably. One of us has known him 12 years, and one of us hasn't.
One of us has known him like 3 years, you know.
Yeah. I don't know where you hit the point where you can just walk behind the bar and start pouring beers.
I don't think I'm there.
I don't know if you're there yet. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the show proper. Let's do some news. I don't have any notes, reminders, etc. Written down. I would say a couple of bits of news this week. Sony is continuing to outsell the Xbox One with their PS4, so good for them. I'm actually happy about this.
Why?
Well, because anytime one brand just completely takes over the market, it's bad for the consumer. And with the 360, Xbox was definitely heading in that direction.
That's true.
But with the missteps that Microsoft made with the launch of the Xbox One, and I would say that the known reliability of the Sony hardware,
is really helping them.
Helping them, and they had
also that it's $100 cheaper too,
right?
Which we'll get into.
We'll get into because there are some changes with that now.
Yeah.
You know, Sony ruled the roost with the PS1 and PS2. Not so much with the PS3 worldwide yet. They did better, but here in the United States, the Xbox 360 just
they blew them out.
So it's actually kind of nice to see.
It was because of Live.
Right.
That was the reason.
Yeah. It's kind of nice to see Sony, like somebody else besides Microsoft, doing some good in this world. I'm a Microsoft. I have been since the original Xbox, but I'm not so like fanboyish that I can't appreciate the other company. Well, Sony does a great job.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of
Xbox
the same
is more
way.
for me.
Or I think I'm kind of the same way. Although I'm more like Sony than you do. But I've been with Microsoft since the original Xbox. I never had a PS2. My brother did, but I never had one.
I had a PS2 and it collected dust. I got rid of it after 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
3 months maybe.
And he liked his PS2, but he mainly only played Gran Turismo, and you can't get that on an original Xbox, and so that's
right.
why.
I got rid of my PS2 before any good games came out.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I did with my PS Vita, actually, is because I bought it. I was like, oh, this is so cool, but there's nothing for it. This sucks.
But there's starting to be some really cool things.
There is. Like, I want to get one again now because, like, Borderlands 2 just came out for it. It's looking good,
nice.
You know? But I, for probably the past 4 or 5 years now, have had both systems. I've had a PS3 and an Xbox 360. I only have an Xbox One now. I still have my PS3. I traded in my 360 because as I was playing on both of the systems, I kind of grew to like the PlayStation 3 more than the Xbox 360.
That's fair.
But I like
But you like their exclusives, and that's...
I like their exclusives. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. And
I never did, so,
right,
that's...
right. And also, I did get an Xbox One because I like the exclusives on Xbox better than I did on PlayStation 4.
Holy crap, Titanfall is great.
Titanfall's great.
I haven't played it in 2 weeks,
It's been kind of a
but I think
disappointment,
about it
though.
all the time.
Like, publicly, it's been kind of a disappointment. I really like it, but
I didn't realize that it's still the best-selling software title out.
Oh yeah, but I've talked to a lot of people, and they have been really disappointed. It's been
when
more
you have a
people-
lot more access to gamers than I do,
right?
With being at GameStop.
Sure. And there's just been a lot of people that have been disappointed with the story of it. How it's pretty much non-existent. And it's more people that are really into story-focused games, and I'm really into story-focused games, and that was a disappointing factor of it to me, is because there is a story, I guess, but it's just like the guy in, the drop ship before each level that tells you what's going on, and
it's
then
basically
you drop into
voiceover.
Yeah,
is the story.
Yeah,
over multiplayer matches.
Yeah, exactly, and so that's kind of disappointing. I haven't played Titanfall in a while now. I still have it. I don't plan on getting rid of it anytime soon.
I really like the look of the new maps that they either just released or are releasing. I may go ahead and pick them up.
It looks great. I like the game.
I may go ahead and get the season pass.
You really think so? You're playing it that much?
No, but I know I will.
Okay.
I happen to be very busy right now.
You think you will?
I think I will. But I'm not getting the season pass for Battlefield 4 or Call of Duty Ghost, and I love those games too. But Titanfall, I think, is my go-to if
nonetheless, being Titanfall the game that it is, I kind of want to get a PlayStation 4 more now, because now there are more exclusives that are coming out and are going to be coming out for PS4 that I'm going to like more, I know I will, than the exclusives that are coming out for Xbox One. Like that game, The Order 1883.
Is that a PlayStation exclusive?
That's a PlayStation exclusive. And Infamous which is already out, which is amazing. It's really good. Yeah, I played a little bit of it.
I didn't like the first two on the PS4.
On the PS3.
PS3. Sorry,
Yeah.
PS3. Yeah, of course.
And see, I kind of like the first two. I really like Second Son. They do a really, really good job with it.
I just don't really like the mechanics for. It reminded me a lot of Crackdown.
Yeah.
But I kind of missed the art style of Crackdown.
Right. And I think they kind of brought a little bit of that art style into Second Son of the original Crackdown.
It's kind of got a mix of Crackdown and Grand Theft Auto going on, and
but you're a superhero.
But I don't really like the mix.
And see, I like the mix.
But I hate the PS3 controller. So maybe that's part of it. I
am completely impartial as far. I've played enough on both of them that it doesn't even make a difference.
I think if I could play PS4 games with a Xbox or a Microsoft controller, I think
you can. With it. There are certain controllers.
Are there good adapters?
There's controllers on Amazon that are exactly the format of a 360 type controller.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They just look into this.
They just obviously they don't have like A, X, Y, and B. They have
sure.
X, square, circle, and triangle on
right.
it, but they look like a 360 controller.
That may be all right as long as they're well made.
Yeah, as far as I know, they are.
Their ones are craptastic.
They're a third party, but they're a wired controller. I know that much. In fact, they might actually be made by Microsoft. They're just a wired controller. I don't know. You can look them up on Amazon.
I will look them up on Amazon.
But anyway, yeah, I'm kind of starting to sort of lean toward the PS4 for gaming purposes now, because I haven't played a game on my Xbox One in a good 2-3 months.
It's only been 2 weeks for me, 2.5 weeks.
Because I've used it a lot. I mean,
I use mine too.
I run my cable box through it. I watch Netflix and Amazon on it and everything like that.
I watch Amazon and I listen to Xbox Music.
Yeah, and I listen to Xbox Music.
I don't even watch Netflix.
I use the YouTube app a lot more than I thought I was going to. And let me tell you something, if you can swing it, hardwiring internet into your Xbox, totally worth it.
I have great wireless connection.
Really. Because like I had a pretty good wireless connection, but it would drop out sometimes.
I rarely have dropouts on Xbox.
And it was really annoying, or like the picture quality would dumb down or something like that.
Oh, see, I don't have that issue.
I wired it in. I have zero issues
now.
Whoa. Yeah, it works flawlessly now. It was the best decision I've ever made in my life.
Sweet.
But anyway, yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards PS4 now.
And great, it's awesome. It's cool hardware. It most definitely is.
Yeah.
If I didn't have if I had more time and I didn't have the Europe trip to save up for this fall, then I would definitely consider picking one up.
Yeah.
If I liked the controller.
Well,
if I found that controller that you're talking about,
that was for PS3 though, not for PS4. I don't know if they have one for PS4 yet.
Because I still want to play Last of Us, but there's one coming out for the PS4.
There is, and I'm super excited for that too. That should be really good.
And it's got a new, even more hardcore difficulty setting.
How? I played a good 30 minutes on the hardest difficulty on The Last of Us on PS3, and I was like, no, I don't need this in my life. I'm good.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, big news.
Big news?
Big news this week. Microsoft has announced that you no longer need a gold subscription to watch Amazon and Netflix and a lot of the more popular apps, HBO Go.
Whenever they decide to release an app for it?
Well, I mean, I think on 360.
360, it's
yeah.
out, but they don't.
So that's been a big thing that people have complained about. Is like, okay, well, you're paying your Netflix subscription, and then you also have to pay Xbox Live to be able to watch Xbox or Netflix on your Xbox. But that is no longer the case.
Right. I might not have a gold subscription anymore then.
Jordan doesn't.
I mean, because
How are you going to play Titanfall then?
Well, I might sell Titanfall. I rarely play it, and I usually don't play games online that much either.
Lame.
No, not lame. If
Yes,
I play
lame.
a game online, it's on my PC.
All right, Lou, take it easy. Oh no, I can respect that. Jordan, I think, is going to probably not have gold subscription or buy an Xbox One until ESO comes out, and then now that's at end of the year rather than June. I was so looking forward to that coming out right at my birthday.
Oh well. We'll talk about it when we get to what you're playing.
I got X-boned.
You certainly did.
No, so Xbox PS4 versions are going away. The PC version is still available.
Yes, it is.
And I really liked it. I wasn't going to do the PC version because I was going to do the console version, but the console version is so far out. That it may be worth my $15 a month or $16 a month, or whatever
15.
it is, $15 a month to go ahead and get in some playtime on it. If I can find a good deal for bundled months, like 6 months or 3 months,
they
or
do.
something
They
like
have
that.
packages like that.
But I want to find a better deal. So we'll see. Like maybe a card on Amazon that will get you.
That would be cool.
Yeah, because they occasionally do that, where you can get, just like with Xbox Live, you can get discounted rates on bundled months.
Right. Now, I'm curious.
But you cannot transfer your characters between the PC version and the console version.
You can't? You can't?
No, and because they're not, you cannot play. They're different server sets.
I know. So hoping I was just going to be able
Brick,
to...
we've talked about this on the show. There's this... There's a show and source of information that
I know, but I thought they might have like changed it or something like that.
Not as of yet.
Because I really would, I would buy another version of the game. I would buy another copy on Xbox One.
I know this.
And sign into my character on there.
If that were the case, if it were cross-platform, I would already have the PC version, Brick. Let's sigh.
Oh well, I mean, I'm having a blast with it on my PC, but we'll get into that later.
Right. And what were some of the other things with that? Oh, Games with Gold is coming to Xbox Live or to Xbox One.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of cool. Deals with Gold is also coming to Xbox One.
And the free games.
Yeah. The free games and the discounted games, they're all coming to Xbox One. Right now they're just on 360, but that's all. It's all in the works. So kind of excited about that. That's pretty cool.
Should be good.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it. Because that is something that has seriously been lacking.
Yeah.
For Xbox One.
Sorry, I'm making notes. And okay. Sorry, I can't make write one thing while I'm saying another. I'm trying to think what else news is going on right now.
Well, Watch Dogs has got a date. I mean, that's happened for a while.
What does?
Watch Dogs, and it's coming.
Oh
at the end of the month. And Watch Dogs,
they've had a lot of ads running on the television.
And it's going to be fantastic.
On
hopefully
sports networks.
Yeah, hopefully it's going to be really good.
I think it will be.
I think.
What's the name of the Tom Clancy game that looked so good?
Oh, I don't know, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Where like you can
gives you a little gamer
you
wood,
have like a tablet, and you can just drop in with like a drone.
Yeah.
While your friends are playing on like a mission or something like that, and help them out. Yeah, badass.
Which you'd probably be able to do with a Vita for the PS4 version.
Probably, yeah. You might be able to play a full character with the Vita version. That's certainly possible.
Maybe.
But maybe.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah.
What else do you have for news? Is your news part of the Weekly Whatchas?
It's watching related.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's Brick. Let's go ahead and get into the Weekly Whatchas.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm. Okay, now I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What you listening to, buddy?
Just WTF. Listen to the second to most latest episode, where he's talking with Reese Darby. And really good episode. I love WTF. I love Mark Maron. He's my favorite self-loathing comedian. So, and then I have been listening to a lot of the Detroit Cobras.
What the heck is that?
It's this band that I can't remember where I heard like one song that they had in some show that I was watching. I can't remember which it was. But then I really, really liked the song, so I downloaded the song, and then I got on Xbox Music and I looked at the rest of their albums.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like this like punk like rocker surfer band with like a female lead singer.
I would probably like this.
Yeah, it's really,
What's
really
the name
good.
again?
The Detroit Cobras.
Done.
And yeah, I'm a big fan, and I think they're actually coming to town like July 17th or June 17th or something like that.
Right.
And I think I'm gonna get tickets.
I'm gonna go.
I'm
just gonna go.
But and then just shuffle after that.
Shuffle.
Just the shuffle.
All right.
That's it. That's it for me. How about you?
Well, I've mostly been listening to Xbox Music. Listen to different radio stations. It's the same radio stations that I always mention on here. The Nitzareb radio, the Walk Off the Earth radio.
Okay.
I played that on not on Xbox Music, but on
It
Pan.
has a lot of reggae in it.
Yeah, on Xbox Music.
Yeah.
I played it on Pandora.
Uh-huh.
I did a radio station for Walk Off the Earth on Pandora. Not reggae, and it's actually really good which is awesome because I normally hate Pandora, but they do a good job with that radio station.
Xbox Music doesn't, though.
It's lots of reggae.
It's a ton of reggae.
It's almost as if you had entered in 311 instead of Walk Off the Earth.
Ziggy Marley or something like that, you know. I mean, but
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not saying I hate reggae. I'm just saying it's not my first choice.
No. No, I feel you on that. And
'cause I like some of it, you know.
Yeah. But then they also have I also do the Monsters and Men radio, which is great.
That's a good one, yeah.
Which is great.
They do good work on that.
They do good work. So what I'm thinking is I may do a radio station based off of some of the artists that came up on Walk Off the Earth radio on Pandora.
Okay. Yeah, I do that a lot too.
Like Passenger. Mm-hmm. Make a radio station on Passenger, and
more of what you
may get me what I'm looking for, because they there was a cover that came on Pandora of Some Nights by Fun Dot.
Yeah.
Or whatever the name of it. Fun Period. Whatever. Seems like it makes it really long if you say it Fun Period.
Yeah, I just call it Fun.
That was really, really good. It was a duet, a guy and a girl, and it was awesome.
Who's it by? Do you know
the
name?
Like T.J. Wood or
T.J. Wood.
So I don't know. It was really good though. So if you have Pandora, check out a Walk Off the Earth radio station, and it's really good music. So just really good. And then because we can, Dee and I play just whatever we want whenever we're working at Coda. Yeah. Whenever I'm working there for free.
Yeah.
So we did that. Listened to some Doors. We've listened to some DJ Quick. Listened to
Van Morrison in there.
No. We also listened to some other hardcore rap. Yeah, we were just having fun.
Okay.
Yeah, because we just play whatever, and Scott doesn't seem to care so much. He didn't like the Rage Against the Machine though. It's a little aggressive for his taste. The hardcore rap with inappropriate language, he was all right with.
But the Rage
not
Against
a big fan of the Rage Against the Machine.
I think it's because
there's another band that he just wasn't all that.
I think it's because he might be becoming the Machine.
He may be the Machine. He may be the Machine.
And he is not a fan of people raging against him.
Brick, I had not considered that, but you could be right. You could be onto something there, sir.
And I guess I listened to Amy Mann too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's one from out of left field, but
yeah. I hadn't even thought about Amy Mann in a long time.
Yeah, nobody's really thought about Amy Mann in a long time, but I have.
Let's see here. Some Nights. I'm trying to find it. Oh, Walk Off the Earth does a cover of Some Nights.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
I don't think I'd heard it. yet. I'm looking.
Did you crack your phone already?
What?
Did you crack your phone already?
No, that's a cracked screen protector. I have a tempered glass screen protector, but it's really thin, and I dinged the edge of my phone.
And it cracked the screen protector.
It didn't crack the screen protector. I keep my phone in my back pocket, and I sit on it constantly, so that stress then cracked my screen protector.
I see.
So whatever it is, it's not on Xbox Music, whatever that cover is. Because I don't see it here.
Not seeing it. Okay. Well, I'm sure with
The cover I don't want to hear is Some Nights on the Kids Bop 323 album by Kids Bop Kids.
yeah, no, I don't want to.
Don't want to hear. Oh shit!
I wouldn't
Oh,
wish that on
there's my
my.
dirty mouth. I accidentally clicked on it when I was pointing at it.
Oh no!
I had to stop it from playing at all
No.
costs. So anyway, on Pandora, you'd be able to find it's like C.J. Ward or DJ Ward
Something
and somebody
J
else.
Ward with a W.
There may not
sound.
be
It's
anything. It may not be Ward. There may not be initials in front of it.
and there might be a W somewhere. There might be a J.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying.
Do your own detective work is what I'm saying.
Holy crap.
So, did you listen to anything else?
I didn't. That was pretty much it. Radio stations on different services.
Very good.
How about that?
How about that?
Let's get into what you're watching, Brick. You said you had a lot. I'm preparing to be impressed.
Okay. Well, first of all, the news. The news is I finished Angel.
Oh, thank goodness. Good for you.
So Buffy and Angel.
Done. And done. Forever?
No, not forever. But it's been 2 years. You realize this, or almost 2 years since I started this.
Is that how long I've had that rash?
Yeah. That's how long that rash has been there. I'm just now giving you the antidote.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's done. It's done. I enjoyed it. I felt like they kind of lost their way in the last season, but they kind of gained it back a little bit. But anyway, I'll digress. I'll digress on Angel.
Yeah, right.
Next one up. I watched 2 seasons of House of Cards in 4 days.
Oh, good for you, buddy.
Yeah, because I was like, I need to do this, and oh my god, that's great.
I have only seen season 1. I haven't done season 2 yet.
Oh, I thought you'd seen season 2. You mean
No.
I'm ahead of you now? I overtook you?
You're a season ahead of me. Here, talk about House of Cards for a minute.
Oh god, House of Cards, so amazing. Kevin Spacey, ruthless in that show, ridiculously ruthless. I mean, he teabags democracy in that show. I mean, like, I'm just saying, that is exactly what he does. You know, he looks at, he's like, oh yeah, you know, one man, one vote. I don't think so. I'm okay. I mean, and this could have been avoided if he would have just given him Secretary of State. That's all he needed to do. He would have been happy. It would have been fine. But no, he scorned him. And oh man, wow. Yeah, super good show. I mean, and I don't want to spoil anything for you that's going on in the second season, because the second season it's almost crazier than the first, if you can believe it. I mean, like, stuff happens in the very first episode that I don't think I've ever been that shocked in a first episode viewing of something ever.
Really?
For a season. It was ridiculous.
I'm excited.
I almost thought it was a dream sequence. Like, when the thing that I'm talking about happened, I was like, no, that didn't happen. You know? And then I was like, oh, wait, that actually happened.
Like, man, they're not going to kill off Eddard Stark.
Yeah.
Oh, they
Exactly. That was precisely my feeling.
They just killed Eddard Stark.
It was like, nah, he's on the cover of the show. It's fine. No, they wouldn't. He's the main character. He's Scene Bean. Oh, wait.
Oh, my.
But such a good show. Such a huge fan. Cannot wait for the 3rd season. It's amazing. I'm disappointed in myself that it took me this long to get on board fully with it. So I finished 2 seasons of that. I have finished a season of Portlandia because
I couldn't stick with it. I tried so hard.
I watched the first 2 seasons and I really loved it, but I just lost track of it. Like, just somewhere along the way I got busy and I didn't have time or something like that. And so I saw that it was on Netflix and I was like, okay, I'll start watching it again because I really did like it. And so I finished the 3rd season and I have the 4th season raring to go. But I'm such a huge fan of Kyle MacLachlan as Mr. Mayor. That is
okay. Here's my thing, and folks, those of you watching and listening, it's not that I don't dearly value my close personal friendship with Fred Armisen, but whenever he comes on screen in any kind of comedy sketch, a stopwatch has started in my mind, and I can't take him for like more than 2 minutes at a time.
Oh, I love Fred Armisen.
I can't do it. And so those first 2 episodes of season 1 of Portlandia, like, I find his meter and his pacing very tedious, and I can't watch him for that long. And I was like, I'm out on Portlandia. After 2 episodes, I could not take anymore. Especially that whole thing with the organic chicken farm or whatever.
Oh my God, that's one of my favorite sketches in that show. I thought that I was on. If it
had been anyone else,
I was on the floor with that sketch.
I
loved it.
Yeah,
and I love Carrie Brownstein too.
No, I'm fine with her.
She's awesome.
It needed to have been somebody else for me.
You're just not a fan of Fred Armisen then?
I can be in short
bursts.
Like a SNL sketch. Portlandia sketches go on for significantly longer.
They do.
They're like 10 minutes rather than 2 minutes.
It's something that I think like that I would say that Family Guy has coined as their own type of comedy, where it's like it goes on for a long time, you know, and it's really drawn out, but the more drawn out it is, the funnier it gets. And I would say
Family Guy does a better job of paying off the time you invest in their sketch.
That's the thing, is that it's really, you have to be really careful when you do comedy like that. Because
with Portlandia, it's definitely the journey and not the destination.
It is the journey and not the destination, that's for sure. But the journey is so worth it to me that is, even if the destination is kind of lackluster, I'm like, the journey was so great, I'm okay. Because, Geoff, what is life if not the journey?
I'm about to make you feel unwelcome in my home.
I just want to say the worst things possible, so that just to be in your mind.
I'm still basking in the afterglow of you finally being done with Angel and Buffy, so you've got a little bit of a
grace period. But anyway, I finished that. I've got the 4th season loaded up, and I think I'm gonna just finish that out probably this weekend or something like that, because they're short. They're like 22-minute episodes. And
how long are their seasons?
Like 10 episodes.
10 episodes. Okay.
Yeah, so it's really short.
That's a pretty easy investment.
The first season was only 6 episodes. So.
Wow, I watched a third of the first
season. You watched a third of the first season. Wow. And then I watched.
Just made me feel worse about myself.
Then I watched Cosmos. And God, I really, really love that show. Neil deGrasse Tyson is so good in everything that he does. I really wish that he could be my science teacher for everything. And not just science, but just be like a teacher of everything, because he's that good at it. And then I went back and I watched some old Christopher Nolan. I watched The Prestige.
Yeah, I liked that one.
I haven't seen it in a while. I really was a big fan of The Prestige. I think your screwdriver's magnetized there, Chief.
A little bit.
I watched the latest couple episodes of Louie, and that remains to be one of my favorite shows. on TV.
I
look
wish
forward to
I
it
could
every
like
week.
Louis C.K. again. I'm risking a close personal friendship here.
Oh,
I
yeah,
wish I
yeah,
could like
sure.
him as much as everybody else does. I
Ah,
wish I could.
I mean, his show is it's it's particular. I mean, it's not what a lot of people who watch his comedy, or watch his comedy in general were expecting.
Right.
It's not your average comedy show, and that's what I really like about it is that it's not your average comedy show. I
I
mean,
saw one episode of his show, and I found his character to be kind of hopeless,
that's
and
exactly right.
and and that's just I can't enjoy that.
Neither can he.
Yeah.
But see, that's kind of the comedy of it is
Yeah.
that he's got this character that is just it's the most unique comedy show I think I've ever seen. I mean, like there's really nothing else like it out there.
Yeah.
And then I watched the latest episode of Comedy Bang Bang, which is also a very unique comedy television show, with Scott Aukerman and Reggie Watts.
I've heard of it. I have not seen it yet.
It's really good. It's sort of like a weird type of comedy, but it's another IFC comedy like Portlandia and
Yeah, sure.
Marin and stuff like that. And I watched the latest episode of Marin, and I really like that too. Because Marin, it's like Louis, but Louis does he has more episodes that kind of address like serious issues, just that will just pop out of nowhere. And Marin is more of a strictly, this is a comedy show. We're not going to, really do anything too harsh. And I watched the latest episode of Mad Men. Still really liking that. Don is planning something. He's on the verge of something that he is going. I mean, did you see any of? Still haven't seen last season.
I haven't seen last season, let alone any of this season.
Okay, because you would have need to have at least seen last season to kind of get that. But you can be sure of that Don is he's on his way up again. Watched the latest episode of Fargo.
So good.
You caught up on that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. That is awesome.
It's a great show.
It's a great show, and they tied it back into the movie.
Really?
Yeah. What?
Now, now there are a lot of similarities between the movie and the TV show. So
yeah.
They're both based on the same event. It's just
no. Kind of, but okay. Do you remember when the Oliver Platt's character? Do you remember at the beginning,
right,
of like not this past week's episode, but the week before that?
Okay.
The beginning sequence where it was that him and his wife driving into
right,
Minnesota.
and they found the money out on the side of the road.
Yeah, that was the money from the movie from that Steve Buscemi buried at the end of the movie.
Oh crap!
Yeah. That was the money that he buried at the end of the movie. Because
so the TV show's the sequel to the movie?
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like they just tied that in. And I felt because as soon as their car broke down in the middle of the road, I was like, oh, they're gonna tie it back into the movie. Like this is what's gonna happen. He's gonna find that money on the side of the road.
So there's like a 10-year gap, 10-15-year gap between the events of the movie and the events of the TV show.
And do you remember?
Oh, wow.
Do you remember?
I didn't even make that connection.
Yeah. I immediately made the connection there, but they even hinted it before that. Do you remember when you first meet Oliver Platt's character, the grocery store, owner or whatever?
Sure.
When they first zoom down into his office, the ice scraper is on his wall that Steve Buscemi used to mark where the money was. It's framed up on his wall, and I didn't put that together at all.
I would
have never even thought that. but they hinted that right there, and then when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, the ice scraper was on his wall, and it was because he found that money so long ago, so he kept the ice scraper and like framed it like his first dollar or something.
Wow.
So yeah, they tied it back into the movie.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I was
That
so
makes a great
impressed.
show even better.
I was so impressed when they were able to tie an already awesome show back into the movie, and they didn't do it right away. I mean, this is like 4 or 5 episodes into the season.
Yeah.
They wanted to establish themselves as a good show outside of the movie and then tie it back in. And I've got a lot of respect for that. It was very well done. And then I watched the latest episode of Game of Thrones, which was very, very good. I mean, Tyrion Lannister, that speech that he gave at the end of that episode.
It wasn't as epic as everybody else was making it out to be to me, but it was awesome.
It was really cool.
And I felt so bad for him, and when he's like, Shay, please don't.
Yeah.
And I was like,
oh yeah.
Oh. But as they say, hell hath no fury, like a woman scorned.
or like a Frank Underwood scorned, really,
But he also could have handled the entire Shay situation a little bit better than he did. Yeah,
but that was like, you're cool. That is what that speech was,
Yeah. It was like, oh, plead guilty and maybe I'll be thrown a little mercy. No.
Nah. I don't want to
kiss my ass. That's what I'm saying.
And I saw this really great picture on Facebook where it was, from I think maybe either last episode or a couple episodes ago, and it was Cersei and Jaime talking, and Cersei's like, he would kill us all if he had the chance, and Jaime's like, I swear to you he wouldn't, and then it cuts to his speech, he's like, I would kill all of you! And Jaime, God damn it.
Yeah. Did you see that behind the scenes footage that was cut into that scene?
No. Oh, the one that Scott posted with where he's like
doing the dance.
Yes, yeah, I shared that actually. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember now.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that is so funny. Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome because I was like, I don't remember that being in the show. I'm pretty sure I would remember a little jig.
Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that's it for me. Just those.
Just those.
Just those.
All right then.
You've had a caramel macchiato.
I also watched the Game of Thrones.
Change your life.
Yes. You really do a good Seth MacFarlane. Just saying. It's nice.
I do
it's nice to have someone around who can do a good Seth MacFarlane.
Well,
You do a decent Christopher Walken too.
Yeah, but I have to have just seen something that he's in.
Yeah.
To get it right.
One of our new cooks that we hired asked me the other day, like, can I put a picture of Christopher Walken on the walk-in?
Yes, you can.
Like, yeah,
totally. Well, it's like I was at Legal Pete's.
Yeah.
And they had on the Ice Cube dispenser a picture of Ice Cube, and they had iced tea on the Lipton iced tea.
Oh, Brick! I'm going to do that.
Yes.
I'm going to do that.
You definitely should do that. It was like, oh my God, that's so awesome.
That is going to happen tomorrow. Brick. It's going to happen tomorrow.
I'm happy to hear it.
There will be a picture of Christopher Walken on the walk-in. There will be iced tea on the iced tea and ice cubes on the ice cube maker.
Cube. Good.
That is going to happen.
It's good.
It's good. Excellent.
Anyway, what have you been watching this week, sir?
Obviously, I watched the Game of Thrones. Awesome.
So good.
So good.
So good.
Uh,
There's really nothing else to say.
No. To balance that out, I watched Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, God, why? Oh, God, no, please, why? No!
Samuel L. Jackson was on this week.
Woo!
It was still terrible. Still terrible.
Well, yeah, I mean, oh, God, I can't remember what. Oh, it was Conan that was, like, he does this segment on his show where it's TV info, and he does, like, funny when you hit the info button on your remote for television shows, and it was Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and it was, like, boring characters and boring storyline referring to exciting characters in the movies.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, my God, that is the perfect description of that show.
Yeah. And they've done a terrible job with Deadlock.
Oh, Deathlock's in.
Deathlock. Sorry.
He's in the show now.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I guess I would have.
No, you know who he is because you
yeah.
meet him early,
right,
before he becomes Deathlock.
It's J. August Richards, right? The black guy.
Yeah.
He was also an angel, and I did not like his character in Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at all.
Yeah.
And when I found out that when I found out he was gonna be Deathlock, I was like, oh God, no.
No. Also watched Inside Amy Schumer. I continue to enjoy that.
Okay, yeah, I still haven't watched it, but I like Amy Schumer. She's good. I mean, she's terrible, but she's good.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of love her a little bit, which is difficult for me because
she was on Jimmy Fallon a couple nights ago.
Oh, she was?
And yeah, she was really funny on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to find out which one that is and acquire it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
and that takes me to my next thing. I watched just some of the Jimmy Fallons that I had in backlog on the DVR.
Okay.
So saw the one with Cameron Diaz again.
Okay.
Again, because I had seen it before.
Did you happen to see the one with Emma Stone?
I don't know that I have.
That's a good one.
I really liked the one with she was an older actress in American Beauty. Kevin Spacey's wife.
Oh, Annette Bening.
Annette Bening. Jimmy Fallon played Flip Cup with Annette Bening. I was like, oh my God.
Oh,
where's my bucket list? I need to write that down right now.
Play Flip Cup with Annette Bening.
Like, how cool is that? With actual beer.
Yeah, with Warren Beatty's wife.
Yeah. like I am so jealous of him right now.
Oh, imagine!
And
if
he
you,
by seconds.
By really close. Imagine if you did couples Flip Cup with Warren Beatty and Annette Bening.
God, it would. If I knew that was going to be the activity, it would probably take 6 months for me to decide on just the right girl to join me.
Join you with them. You're like, okay, can I have some time? Can I have some time for this? Okay, because I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure I can find a girl. I don't
know that I've met the girl that I would date.
I don't know that I could find a girl. I might just bring a guy. I mean, does it have to be like couples? Because I'll kiss a dude,
If I have to make this happen, I'll kiss a dude. Yeah, so that was like a really cool.
That's cool. I'm gonna have to look that up, like on YouTube
Jimmy Fallon moment. So
I love that he does that. Like that's his thing. His unique thing is he plays games with his guests, and it works so well.
Yeah.
It's really good for a late night talk show type of atmosphere.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Like I've said before on the show, it's really awesome to watch a guy having the time of his freaking life.
Yeah.
I mean, the kind of experiences that he's racking up right now doing the show, unheard of. Especially after coming off of Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And being able to do this. And how awesome for Stephen Colbert to be taking over for David Letterman.
Yeah, he's got the same opportunity now.
I mean, that completely changes the face of late night television.
It really does.
Jimmy Fallon and Stephen Colbert.
Yeah. I'm sad to lose the Colbert Report, but I trust Stephen Colbert.
The Minority Report replacing it.
What?
One of the writers from The Daily Show, the black writer that they have that's on Daily Show,
Larry Wilmore?
Yes. He is taking over, and his show is called The Minority Report because he's a black guy. Brick?
Oh my God.
Do you get it? Do you see what he did there?
Yeah. Oh, I can't even look at you right now.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about
we talked about this last week when you weren't here.
I haven't listened to the show from last week.
Yeah. We talked about it last week. He got the spot, Stephen Colbert's spot behind The Daily Show.
That is awesome. I love Larry Wilmore too.
Yeah.
Also, many people will know him from the second ever episode of The American Office.
Nice.
He was the Diversity Day instructor.
Wow. Back in the day.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Check out that memory, Chief.
God, that was like 9 years ago.
Yeah.
8 years ago if it was second season.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
What's your name? Mr. Black. Okay, I will not call you that.
That's my name.
That's my name. You can call me my name. That's fine.
That's almost as good as collard greens. No, that's racist.
No. It's colored greens. No, it's collard greens. No, Stanley, it's colored greens. That's offensive. No, what he says is he's like, you don't call them collared people. That's offensive. That's what he says.
So funny.
Oh, God, I miss
Michael Scott.
I miss that show now. I want to go back and watch it.
Yeah. You can't go home, Brick. You just can't go home. So Amy Schumer, then I watched the most recent episode of Big Bang Theory, which may be a season finale. We're right in the middle of a lot of season finales right now, and
yeah.
I don't know if that one's a season finale, but it could have been. I don't think so. I think it's like the penultimate, the second to last.
Okay.
It could have been either, really. Watched the I'm up to date on the new season of 24.
Oh, so am I. I forgot to put that on the list. Yeah.
I dig being back with Jack and Chloe again.
I'm okay with it.
Chloe still sucks.
I'm still not sold on it.
Chloe still sucks. Jack's awesome. Yvonne Strahovski.
The villain from The Crow, isn't it?
Oh yeah. But Yvonne Strahovski from Chuck and Dexter.
Yes, yeah.
Love her.
I was thinking where I saw her before.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. And then Catelyn Stark.
Yes, she's the bad guy.
She's the bad guy.
Like, yes. And how awesome of casting was it for her daughter? She looks like
she looks young
just like
version of her or something.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And totally hot, by the way.
Yep.
Yep.
Is that
yeah, and of course Fargo, we already talked about this. And Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah, again.
Greatness.
I saw it a second time.
I haven't seen it a second time yet.
First time I watched it, non-Movie Pass. This time, Movie Pass.
See, the first time I watched it non-Movie Pass because I saw it in IMAX 3D.
Right.
And so you can't use Movie Pass for that. But when I do inevitably see it again, I will use my Movie Pass.
And you'll see it again.
I will, yeah. It's really good.
Yeah.
And it's stuck to the comics. And I was with a group of fellow comic book nerds, and I was the only one. Like at the beginning of the movie, I was like, Gwen Stacy. Spoiler, first of all.
Huge spoiler.
Spoiler.
I mean, it's not a huge spoiler if
you're a fan of the comics.
You're a fan
it's
of the
not
comics.
a huge spoiler, but it's a spoiler if you're not.
If you're just an action movie
Gwen
film.
Stacy is dead at the end of that movie.
Yeah, and they do such a good job with that.
And they needed to, because that's such a pivotal moment in the history of Spider-Man.
Right, because it's like, oh, he's saved her. He saved her. He saved her. He's gonna save her.
Snaps her neck.
She's dead. Well, not just that.
Yeah,
she hits the back of her head on the
pavement. And see, in the comic, it's different. In the comic, it's like, do you remember in the first Spider-Man movie when Mary Jane gets thrown off the bridge?
Well, and not only that, there's also whenever the Green Goblin destroys the balcony that she's standing on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, there's
you remember when she gets thrown off the bridge? That's how it happens in the books with Gwen Stacy.
Right. It's Gwen Stacy there.
Whereas in the movie they changed it up a little bit. It's in a clock tower.
Yeah, because
he doesn't so well.
He doesn't meet Gwen Stacy till Spider-Man 3. And
right,
because that's Bryce Dallas Howard.
It's Bryce Dallas Howard. That's why the first 3 Spider-Man movies should be forgotten, okay? It's because they have nothing to do with the actual story. The first 2, well, obviously they have something to do. There's a guy that shoots webs. But
I would say
the first 2 are pretty good. Well, the first one's pretty good. The second one, really good. One of the better superhero movies I've seen. I'll say that. And then the third one just completely takes a dump on the franchise as a whole.
I would say Spider-Man 2 was a really good one if you don't consider X-Men 2. And
because X2 was the best X-Men, for sure.
Yeah, and after that, I know Jordan's a Thor guy, but
Thor sucked.
Yeah, it really did. The first Thor was good.
Yeah.
But then the Captain America movies were really good.
Really good.
Both of them.
Both of them. And the second one was better than the first.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen usually,
Oh, and how about on Amazing Spider-Man 2? And I don't know if you saw it, but the post-credit sequence is Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
That's Sony Marvel and
Sony Marvel.
And no, Sony Marvel and Fox Marvel.
Because Fox is...
Those are 2 different Marvels.
Fox Days of Future Past?
Spider-Man Sony
and
X-Men is Fox.
Yeah, I noticed that.
But
Weird.
no, you will never see that interaction with the Disney Marvel though.
But Days of Future Past also looks incredible.
Oh.
I mean, it looks
Mystique.
like Mystique. I mean, J-Law, national treasure there.
Yeah. Yeah, she really is.
And then, Hugh Jackman, and you have Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, and Michael Fassbender all in the same movie.
Can't even process it.
Michael Fassbender apparently is not in any scenes with Ian McKellen or Patrick Stewart.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, only
because I thought
what
Ian McKellen would come back and counsel him the way that Patrick Stewart is counseling.
But they initially send Wolverine back. To convince him, and so I think that's that's the extent of it.
Couldn't Wolverine just go back and counsel same age looking Wolverine?
Well, I suppose he could.
Because he looks the same in both of them.
I have not.
It's like, hey, maybe you could not tell them to go F themselves when they come into the bar to talk to you.
Yeah. Maybe just don't do that. Which also, First Class was one of the better superhero movies. I mean, they're really doing a good job. It is the Disney Marvel movies that are lacking, except for Captain America. That's the one that's not. But Thor, at least in the sequel to the first one, was not that great. And the other 2 Iron Mans were not nearly as good as the first one. And so it's the Disney Marvel universe that's lacking.
I don't know. I
mean, the
mean,
Avengers
Captain
was
America
great.
and Avengers are both pretty solid.
Well, yeah, but you
Iron
think
Man's
about Iron
definitely
Man. You think about Iron Man
faltering.
2, Iron Man 3 sucked, both of them. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'll
Iron Man
give you
2 was
that.
okay, but Iron Man 2 was only okay because of Sam Rockwell and Mickey Rourke.
Yeah,
And then Iron Man 3, I would never see Iron Man 3 again in my entire life and be totally fine. And then Thor: The Dark World
yeah,
was eh. I mean, like,
very meh.
yeah, Captain America and
But you
Winter
know what?
Soldier were really good, but
You know what kind of made Dark World suck was Natalie Portman,
yeah,
which
and
is
that's
a damn shame.
shocking.
I should not have to say that.
That's shocking. But um, Captain America and Captain America Winter Soldier, both of them really good, but still for my money, I think Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2, X2 and hopefully Days of Future Past are better movies,
Yeah,
you know. I
and you
would
know what
rather
else I'm
watch
really
those.
looking forward to now
What's that?
is Spider-Man versus Batman.
Spider-Man versus
I mean, I'm
Batman.
sorry, Superman versus Batman.
Yeah, now with the picture
Oh my god.
of Batman
Well,
that was released this week, we should have mentioned
the
that in the
picture
news
just reminded me
of how excited we are
of
for it.
how excited I am
Well,
for it.
and here's the thing: is that Zack Snyder's such a huge comic book fan, we could be looking at a Death of Superman movie. How cool would that be?
I'd be all right with that.
I would be more than all right with that. That sounds amazing. Please make that the end of the trilogy.
Please, please. Um, what else do we have to say about Amazing Spider-Man 2? What do you think about this leading into the Sinister Six movie?
Awesome sauce. I
Yeah.
mean, it needs to
So
happen. And
it was
they don't necessarily have to stop at 3. I've
it's
heard that they're gonna maybe make 4 and make the 4th one have Carnage and Venom.
maybe. Okay, so what we saw I mean obviously Green it's not Green is it Green Goblin or just the Goblin? Hobgoblin.
Green
Green
Goblin.
Goblin or
It's Green
Hobgoblin?
Goblin.
It's Green
Yeah.
Goblin, Rhino,
Green Goblin, Rhino,
and
Electro.
Electro and Vulture.
Well, we didn't see Vulture.
No,
But
we saw the wings though.
Yeah, saw the wings and saw the arms for Doctor Octopus too.
Doc Ock, and what's the other one?
Um,
I don't remember who else was in Sinister
oh
Six.
God.
It was Vulture, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Because
Because
Craven the Hunter.
oh,
Yeah,
he
I don't
was in
know.
Sinister Six.
Yeah, I think he was in the original Sinister Six. I don't
Okay,
know how they're going to incorporate
because
him though.
because we can't have the Dr. Lizardo or whatever. We can't have him back. He's done.
Who? The lizard.
Yeah,
Kirk Connors.
yeah. And we can't have who's the other one? Who was the other villain in? No, it was just Kurt Connors in the
Yeah, it
last
was just
one.
Kirk Connors in the last one.
Okay,
He was the only one.
right,
There was 3 villains in this one, which made it
right.
super awesome.
Yeah,
Granted, the Rhino was really only in like the last like 6
in
minutes
this one
of the movie.
it was Rhino, Green Goblin, and
Electro.
Electro. Yeah,
Yeah, and Electro
yeah.
could come back. I mean, that's simple.
Maybe.
They could do it.
I mean, if they're doing Sinister
If they're
Six,
doing
then
Sinister
they have
Six,
to,
they
have
need
to bring
to.
him back.
They need to, and they will. They will. There's no question about that.
Because it can't be a prequel movie because he's already like he had his origin and destruction in this
Right.
this
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
So,
So they got to.
but they've also
and it's a simple fix too.
well, yeah, because they also they already established that he could disperse into just
Exactly.
energy.
That's why I'm saying it's a simple fix. Whereas
So
like the
it's just a
lizard,
matter of him reorganizing his.
right? Whereas like
Yeah.
the lizard, Kirk Connors is dead. Like
He
he
is
is dead
dead.
as fried chicken. I mean, he's done. Whereas like that's a quick fix for Electro because they can just be like, oh well, he wasn't really gone to begin with, and then just bring him back. Which
Yeah.
I'd be okay with because he's part of the Sinister Six. Jamie Foxx did a fantastic job playing him. I'm
Yeah.
good with that. Yeah.
Yes. All right, I think that's about all of Amazing Spider-Man, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else.
Nice. All right, Brick. Let's talk about what we've been playing. What you playing, buddy?
Portal 2.
Yeah.
Still playing that.
Yeah.
Star Trek Online.
Yeah.
Still playing that. And Elder Scrolls Online. Playing that.
I could feel that's where you're going with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm enjoying
You
it too.
telegraphed that quite a bit that
Oh,
you
I
were
did.
going to be
Yeah.
played ESO.
Yeah, I wasn't subtle about
So
it.
it's cool, right?
It's so
I only
good.
played the beta. I haven't played the full version.
Yeah, it's really
but
cool.
it's enjoyable.
Yeah. It's very
So
enjoyable.
which
Well, I got the
which faction are you?
God, what faction am I? I should have it right
Are
here.
you the Daggerfall
Aldmiri?
Aldmiri? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So High Elf, Wood Elf, and
I am Imperial.
oh, okay.
I am Imperial and Templar. Imperial
Okay.
Templar. And the only reason that I am is because I got the collector's edition, and that comes with.
Holy crap, that's expensive.
It wasn't for me. somebody owed me. Like they bet me that I wouldn't do something, and they were like, "If you do it, I'll give you like a $90 statue."
I don't even know what it is,
But you know, I already
but
did it.
I know you would do it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you do it.
And so yeah, so it was like free for me.
We've already established that you would make out with a guy to play flip cup with a net bending.
And Warren Beatty.
Not both of just
If it was just a net bending,
okay.
I'd still do it.
Okay, you got me.
Yeah, and when you get the Imperial Edition, as it's called, they give you that as a downloadable code, the ability to have the Imperial class with it.
Oh, the Imperial race?
Imperial race, yeah.
You can't do that standard?
Nothing I know of.
And for those of you who aren't familiar with with Elder Scrolls, Imperial's just it's like basic human, right?
Pretty much, it's like a warrior kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I chose
the ruling class.
Yeah,
basically.
I chose Templar as the class.
Okay.
And
which is a healing class.
Kind of. It's like
it's
a
healing
good
warrior
mixture.
type deal.
Yeah, that is why I like
it. But ESO, you can do whatever you want.
It's like a good mixture.
Yeah.
Of what I really wanted out of a character, which was kind of like a healer, but really like strong, kind of almost a tank warrior.
It's a paladin class.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it.
Nice.
It's really good. I haven't gotten to play a lot of it, because the first night that I got it, I had to install it, and that takes a while, and then
a while,
and then I had to do the patch update for it,
Dang.
and that takes a while. And so I got into it, and I created my character, and that is all I did the first night that I played it.
Nice.
My character name.
I wonder if I signed up if my beta character would be available to me.
Possible. I don't know.
I didn't get very far because they would do character resets pretty often. The last 2 beta weekends that I did, I had the same character though.
Okay. Well, I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
For me, I mostly just played Civ Rev.
Okay, yeah, I saw that you were doing that.
Yeah, I speaking of patching, I patched Lord of the Rings Online. Did not play it, but I hadn't played it in like a month or more.
Yeah, I did that last night with STO. I just patched it just so that it would be ready to go if I wanted to play
just
it.
Just in case. But Civ Rev, I played a lightning round after I had started a game of the week. Because I wasn't thinking about what I was doing. I don't know how familiar you are with this, but game of the week, there are no saves. You're playing. It basically exists online.
Yeah.
And if you interrupt your internet connection, the game's done. Well, what happened is Madison was having a little trouble connecting to the internet. She was wondering if it needed to be reset, and I wasn't thinking about what I was doing. And I reset my internet, and then I went back over and sat down to my game.
You're like
oh, nutsack! I have just tanked this game that I've spent an hour and a half on.
Oh no!
And I was in the home stretch.
Oh god, that's the worst.
And then I played a very half-hearted lightning round scenario,
Yeah,
and I came in second place because
because you just lost all will.
my head was no longer in it, my heart was no longer in it, and so I came in second place. And Madison got a kick out of, I mean, because she came in and she's an awesome girl, so don't judge her for her judging. But she's like, "Oh, you're playing a video game," that kind of thing. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, whatever. But she got a kick out of me saying, like, "Oh man, they really made Gandhi a dick in this game." Because they did. Jordan and I have talked about this 1,000 times. Like, why is Gandhi so aggressive?
Yeah.
Why is he so mean?
He was passive in real life.
Yeah. So, I think it's the game designer's own little joke
of making Gandhi a total.
He's just so bad, so bad. Why is Genghis Khan the guy you'd rather have a beer with than Gandhi?
Because reasons, Geoff.
Because reasons. So that's about it for me. Like I said, I haven't played Titanfall. I'm hoping to play a little Titanfall this week, but I'm super busy again this week.
Yeah.
For those of you who haven't heard me mention this before, on top of me piecing together whatever kind of social life that I have my actual job, and then I do volunteer shifts at a bar, a tap room that my buddy owns. The Coda Brewing Company that I mentioned earlier in the show, and so I kind of make some long days for myself. It doesn't leave
yourself busy,
man. As if I didn't already not have enough time for gaming, I really don't have enough time for gaming right now. Something else I noticed the other day, Brick, yeah. I no longer read. It's not that I can't.
You read at some point?
I used to read for pleasure whenever I had time.
Wow. And that's not happening anymore?
It doesn't happen anymore.
Oh.
It doesn't happen anymore.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's a terrible thing.
The only time I ever read anymore is when I'm on a plane. How about that?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of the
I don't do a whole lot of traveling, Brick. That's what I'm saying. So there's not a whole lot of reading either.
Not a whole lot of reading. There's not a whole lot of traveling.
Correct. So that's about it. Do you have anything else that you wanted to talk about?
No, I'm just jazzed to be on the show.
Yeah, I'm just jazzed that you're jazzed to be on the show.
Yeah, I'm jazzed that you're jazzed that I'm jazzed that I'm jazzed on being on the show.
Wait, what? You missed a step there. Or you added a step, actually.
I think I added a step.
You added a step. All right. Once again, if you live in the Denver area, go out and check out Coda Brewing Company. They have a Facebook presence, and hopefully at some point, once they get themselves nice and established, they'll be doing some outside sales, and that'll be awesome.
Yes.
And you too can have some Coda beer.
I would love to see Coda beer in Texas.
Oh yeah. How about that?
Yes.
How about that?
Awesome sauce.
Awesome sauce. All right. Thanks for watching and listening. We will see you next week in whatever combination of hosts that we can manage. And Yep. Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye. That was necessary.